Hello everyone. I am back with part 2 of my wooden cigar box watercolor palette. So in the first video, I showed you actually how I put this box together. This is a cigar box, a wooden cigar box, and inside of it, I placed an acrylic cosmetic tray. I'm not sure which cosmetic tray this is, but normally the acrylic cosmetic trays are quite easy to find. This one I had for quite some time. I thrifted this one a good while ago. And inside, it is a 16 well tray. And inside of each well that I'm using for the watercolors, I have 3 watercolor pans inside of each well, which results in it being a 24 color palette. So in the first video, I was short 4 of my last colors in order to complete the palette, and which I thought, and you can see that it does have 22 colors in it right now, and that is because I did, off to the side, I did have two extra gram colors that I had initially purchased because I knew I wanted to make a 24 palette gram watercolor set, and I was buying extra colors. I needed 4 extra colors to finish that. Well, I kind of forgot I was doing that, but when I rewatched the previous video, I did notice inside of the little index card box where I keep paints, I did notice that I had 2 gram colors in there. So I looked inside the box and pulled these 2 out, and it kind of jogged my memory as far as what I had been doing. So I did place these 2 in the bottom here. So to go back over the colors that I do have in the palette, I'm trying not to make this video too long because I just want to go ahead on and fill this in, let you guys go. But I have here Azo Yellow, and I think I still have them in the same order because I had them left out on the desk ever since I filled this. I have Indian Yellow here, Azo Orange, Pyro Red, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, Dioxazine Purple. So I had trouble with this tube. It was dried out. And this is the Mineral Violet. So I'm hoping it still performs well. If it does not, I will just have to pry this pan out and purchase another one. I have Cobalt Violet here. Crocillion Blue Deep. Cobalt Blue. Ultramarine Blue. Cobalt Teal. Turquoise. Cobalt Green. Sap Green. I think this is Pyethrylene Green, I think. Burnt Sienna. Quinacridone Rust. Nickel Quinacridone Gold. Yellow Ochre. And then I have here cadmium yellow, and polyethylene blue. So the two colors that I purchased to complete the palette are Payne's Gray and Permanent Green Pale. So I'm going to go ahead on and put these two here in this well, and I still won't be swatching today because I want this palette to dry a little more before I do the swatching. Let's see if I can kind of zoom you guys in just a little bit. Since I showed you the colors, I'll zoom you in more on the palette. So we can get a better look at it. Okay, so I'll go ahead on and I'm just placing these, since they're just extra colors, I'm placing them in no particular order. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to pry the extra pans out and reorganize the palette, because I also showed you guys that I am using these tabs that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. Now I just came home from the Dollar Tree and these are no longer $1.25, they're $1.50 now. But and normally every time I go I purchase some of them, so I do have a decent stock of maybe over 1,000 and something stickers altogether, because it's 72 stickers in each, 72 dots in each pack. So I have well over 10 packs of these, and normally every time I go I purchase at least one or two. I guess I was kind of salty about seeing the price change, so today I didn't purchase any of them. But these hold up really, really well. This is an example of that. That is how I put my little porcelain palette together. This is a trinket box. Purchased this trinket box from the thrift store. And I hold these pans in with those stickers. Now, mind you, I did do an oven drying on this, so that could also be a factor to how these are adhering to the box. They are in here very, very well, really good. So, but I don't want to do an oven dry on my wooden box because I don't want it to dry out and possibly damage the wood. So I'm just letting these dry naturally. I also stated how I am about to start emptying out a lot of my watercolor tubes. So look forward to a few more palette filling videos, because I really want to get these tubes emptied out, especially with things like this happening. I just want to get my tube. I would rather have extra pans that I have sitting off to the side that I can just pull from, rather than having them sitting in tubes drying out. And also the separation. The separation is also a headache. So I did have separation in my cadmium yellow, in my cobalt teal, and I want to say the Brazilian blue. But oh, and then there's one more here that maybe my sap green. So those did have separation. I had been stirring them, so I missed a few days of kind of stirring them, and I just don't want to disturb them at all. I had just been stirring them with this coffee stir, and they started to come together pretty well. And you see, I did have one little mishap, but no true disasters. And this was me rotating the pan in a live video. So another kind of issue I was having was I wasn't sure that once these dried down, because you know the paints, they're gonna shrink possibly by 3/4 to a half. Once they're fully dry, I didn't know if I was gonna go in with a second layer or just leave them as is. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead on and leave this palette as is. I am gonna empty these tubes out into different palettes, and once I run the colors down, I'll just have to purchase tubes to replace whatever run down. But I'm just gonna leave it as is. And I don't know if I mentioned in this video, but these are empty because they are my mixing wells. Now I do wish that I would have placed something white under here, but when I was putting it together, it was very spontaneous, and I didn't when I put it together, I didn't think that this would be stuck in here. Once I started putting it together, I could not stop because I got this end went in flush and this one was really tight trying to get it in. So I had to step on it to actually get this all the way flushed down into this palette. So there's no pulling it out. It's in here permanently, and I cannot put anything under there, even if I would have had a piece of white paper at the bottom for the mixing wells. And I may be able to slide something under there. I will try something as hard as like a cardstock. If I cut a cardstock to the right size and just push it until I get it under there. But this is the paint section, and this is my mixing wells. And so far, I love this little box, and I do still have to get this sticker off. Let's see if we can do this now. Oh, it looks like it won't be a problem coming off. Let me not speak too quickly. I'm definitely gonna have to do some cleanup to it. So, well, this is going to be an off-camera project. So the next time you see it, this eyesore will be gone. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little look at my little cigar palette box. And I do have this larger box here, which I don't think I'm going to create a watercolor palette out of this one. I'm still not quite sure what I will do with this particular box right now. Right now, it's just holding a mixing palette and some paints that I have for a watercolor kit. Just different watercolor stuff, extra watercolor stuff that I have here on my desk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little look at this box, and stay tuned for part 3, which will be the swatching. So I will catch you guys in the next video.